is still possible with this storm. And Lawton, get ready for a damaging hailstorm. Lawton, get ready for damaging winds.
Tornado on the ground at 277 and 281.
There it is. Tornado on the ground at 277 and 281. All right, so there we go. That's what we were talking about. And Alan Brosey's going to come in. He's going to come in from the north. Okay, we need to get Tom and Rob east and get them north of Sterling at a high rate of speed. They need to get east at a safe speed, but they need to get east. They need to get north. All right, let's take that. Who shots that? That's Val's shot. Let's go to Val Castor. Val has dust. He's a little farther south. Val, tell us what's going on.
Okay, David, we're southwest of Lawton on this storm, and I'll tell you what, this storm is also getting stronger, and what you're looking at there with that dust, that is some strong outflow dust. It just popped up right before you said that. Very, very strong winds creating that outflow dust. Earlier, David, we had winds gusting over 60 miles an hour with the outflow, but I think that the important thing here is that the mezzo is starting to get better organized, and it's starting to rotate a little bit stronger, but we're going to have to keep watching it. Back to you, David.
Val, good job. And again, that storm to the south is rotating down there as well. That's the other storm that is south of Lawton. Okay, so we have, again, those two big storms. Val Castor's right there. A lot of storm trackers out here today. And that storm is rotating as well. So, again, this is another big storm capable of tennis ball, if not larger, size hail. Let's go back to Storm Shield 9 and take a look. Here it is. Boy, the tornado, again, on the ground. Let's zoom in here. Let's get back to it. Here's 277. And 281 right there, and tornado. This is where it's going to be. It's going to be right here. It's going to be right here. It's going to be southeast now of Lake Ellsworth, okay? And Elgin, I can't say it enough. You folks in Elgin, if you know anybody in Elgin, they have to get to their safe spot. Lowest level, center part of the house. You need to go there now, all right?
That's only 3 miles from the H.E. Bailey Turnpike.
Right. H.E. Bailey's right here, and it's going to cross the H.E. Bailey, all right? So tornado on the ground. The Oklahoma Highway Patrol, I know they're watching. We need to close down the H.E. Bailey, I would say between, just east of Fletcher, and then from there, back down south of Elgin. The H.E. Bailey needs to be closed.
That's near mile marker 53. Near mile marker 53.
Right here, it's mile marker 53? Okay, so it's crossing the turnpike right now. It's crossing the turnpike right now. Again, this tornado, it's on the ground. All right, it's on the ground. Alan's coming in from the north, and he'll be there shortly. All right, he'll be there shortly as he comes in from the north. Shear rate, still very impressive. And I want to point out something on shear rate. Don't pay attention to this. Pay attention to these spiraling bands that are coming into it. See that right there? These are called shear bands that are coming in. All right, there's one. There's one. The tornado's like, it seriously is like right there. It's right there. It's going to pass over. It looks like to me like it's going to pass over on top of Elgin or just north of Elgin, maybe a mile, but we can't chance it. You folks at Elgin to Fletcher, you need to be in your safe spot. All right, there's a new update. It's on top or just north of Elgin. It's going to be just north of Elgin, maybe a mile, maybe. It's very, very close. Damaging winds in Elgin, damaging winds in Fletcher, even if you don't get the tornado. All right? All right, so big time tornado now on the ground. This is going to be northwest of Elgin, right down in here. There's Lake Ellsworth. This is where the tornado is, right here. Just about right in here, just north of Elgin, not by much. I know the low-level lock's back to the west, but the circulation is a little bit tighter right here. All right, so let's see who's down here again. Okay, there it is. All right, so Alan's coming in from the north, and all right, let's back out just a bit. Let's talk about the southern storm here. And this thing down here continues to get stronger. Bobby and Val, they're looking right at it, looking at their shots, Okay, let's do a storm track on this. Let's go to Pathfinder. And let's do a storm track. Once again, tornado warning. You folks down in Grady County, you're under a tornado warning, but it's going to be, right now, it's going to be south of Chickasha. All right? If you live in Chickasha to the north, you're not going to have the tornado. All right? You're going to have some rain. You're going to get some hail, I think, in Chickasha. But right now, unless it really changes directions and does something crazy, which they can, welcome to Oklahoma. We think the tornado threat, I think, will be honestly south of Chickasha, Ninnekah, down Highway 81 to Rush Springs. You need to be watching this. This is going to be a long-lived supercell. Doesn't mean it's going to produce a tornado for a long time, but it's not going to die anytime soon. The environment down here is conducive. It is set up for this thing to eat, live, and breathe for as long as it can. And I think it goes clear through Grady County. I think it comes into northwestern Garvin County. I think it comes into Cleveland County. And right now, it looks like, unless it really ramps up to the north, that this is going to stay south of Moore. All right, that's what I'm thinking right now. I really do think it's going to stay south of Moore. You're going to get some rain out of this. Might even have a little hail because the hail is going to be ejected and lofted up. But right now, I think that the main dangerous part of this storm is going to stay south of Moore, and it's going to try to stay south of Norman. It's going to try. Okay, so tornado warning for northeastern Comanche County, Lawton, hail coming into you. The storm down here, it is turning. But it's not turning enough. It's not turning enough, which is great news. It's not turning enough to get a tornado warning out of it right now. Val Castor and Bobby Payne are right there looking right at it. Let's go back to Alan Brosey. He's coming in from the north, and we'll take his stream live. And there it is, full screen if we can, just for a second. Alan, you're coming in from the north. Give us an update.
David, we can see the inflow wrap right now. We're not that far from it, but this, like I said, the storm is so grungy. Visibility is very, very difficult. We're on top of a hill here, and we ought to be able to see a tornado here just very shortly. We'll let you know.
Okay, all right, hang on, Alan. Alan, here's the deal. And we see a little reflection here on the right side of your. Alan, is that? Am I seeing reflection from your windshield, or? I think I am. Okay, I think I am. Yeah, I definitely am.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. All right, yeah, it looks a little different from my view. Okay, so Alan, and I also want to point out, you can tell that thing is going to be wrapped in rain. You're looking at the front lip. You're looking at the front lip of where that tornado is. Okay, it's going to be right in here. It's going to be wrapped in rain as it now is. It's now north and east of Fletcher, or excuse me, of Elgin. It's coming into Fletcher right now.
It's right over 277 in the H.E. Bailey Turnpike.
Right. That's where it is. Okay, let's go back to Storm Shield 9 and. That's what Lacey was saying, 277 in the H.E. Bailey. It's right there. That's where the tornado is, right where my finger is. Fletcher, you've got less than a couple of minutes, okay? It's going to be on top of you right now. If you live in Fletcher, you need to go to your safe spot right now. Lowest level, you need to go to your safe spot. I can't say it enough. In Fletcher, we need to close down the H.E. Bailey. OHP needs to close down the H.E. Bailey from northeast of Fletcher, I'd say to be safe, maybe 10 miles. And then back down to Fletcher. All right, H.E. Bailey needs to be closed. It needs to be closed because people are going to get trapped on the H.E. Bailey as this is going to try to at least ride up the H.E. Bailey for another several miles. All right?
That's about mile marker 62 to 52 for folks that may be traveling on the H.E. Bailey.
Okay, that's going to be 62 right in here. Is that what you did? 52?
Yeah.
Okay.
About 10 miles, yeah.
Okay, about 10 miles. 62 to 52. Yeah, we really need to shut this down. Okay, so Fletcher, you need to be in your safe spot right now, lowest level, center part of the house. If you live in a mobile home, you're going to have to get out. All right, you're going to have to get out of the mobile home and find a sturdy building, sturdy place to go, a neighbor's house, go knock on a door, go into a sturdy building or a sturdy house if you can. Okay, let's go back and let's talk about the storm south of Lawton here one more time just to make sure we're good. And again, there's Elgin. Boy, look at that. Wow, look at that. Let's zoom on into that, Lacey. Boy, that is impressive. Look at the velocity couplet on that. Folks, this is on the ground. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. This is on the ground right now. Yeah, that's on the ground. It sure looks like it. Boy, it sure looks like it. Okay, and it's right over the H.E. Bailey. It is at 277 and the H.E. Bailey. All right, so, boy, this isn't good. Okay, so tornado again on the ground. It's been confirmed on the ground. I still think it's on the ground. I think it just crossed the H.E. Bailey. Lacey, let's loop that if we can. I just want to see what the velocity has done just in the last couple of minutes. Yeah, it's getting stronger. Okay. All right, here we go. We've got problems. We have problems now. All right, let's go to Alan. Let's go to Alan. Let's go to Alan Brosey. Go ahead, Alan. You're on live. Go ahead.
Okay, David, this thing is coming right to us. It's going to head just south of Surreal. And, man, we've got a major wrap up here. Had a very large cone-shaped funnel that's going to be at probably within the next 3 or 4 minutes. It's a pretty good-sized cone. Got a large hail core coming in behind it, too. So, David, we're going to go ahead and back off and head into Surreal, and we'll get back with you in just a minute.
Yeah, Alan. Okay, Alan, where you are, I see what farm road you're on. Can you get east or northeast from there? Can you go straight east?
Negative. We're going to have to go into Surreal, then go east.
Okay. All right. Well, Alan, if you go back north, you're going to get caught in the core. If you go back north, the core is going to overtake you in the core. So you need to get east if you can. You need to get east if you can, without going back to Surreal. Surreal's about ready to get wind and hail. It's coming into Surreal right now.
I'm going to have to do that, David. We got a tornado on the ground right now that's getting ready to come just south of Surreal. We're going to have to go north and get out of here.
Okay.
There's no viable roads.
Okay. All right. There you go. All right. All right. You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. All right. He's going to head back north. And Alan, when you're looking at your window right now, what do you see out to your left? I could see the rotation from moving from right to left. So I know it's on the ground back to your west or southwest, or it's sure trying to be.
Yeah, we had a tornado just a few minutes ago. Right now, it's just a very large core or cone-shaped tornado or cone-shaped funnel, and it's wrapping up tight, David. It's the best thing that I've seen in the last 15 minutes for sure.
Okay. All right. Well, Alan, stay safe. Come back north. And Alan, there are a couple of roads.
Hey, David.
Yeah.
Along 44, we had 115-mile-an-hour wind measured on 44. A semi flipped.
Okay, 115 measured on I-44.
Near 44, yeah, and a semi flipped in that area.
Okay, we're going to assume that's tornado at 144. Let's say that was a maximum. That's going to be an EF2. Basically, we're in the EF2 range. If that's the maximum that anemometer was able to measure at 115. Quarter mile away, the winds might have been not measured at 130, 140. So we're talking, could it have been an EF3? Radar says it was at least an EF2. Radar says that it is at least an EF2, and it was when it crossed I-44. All right, and it might have been stronger. We know the baseline. We know the minimum. We know we have right now we had a wind gust to 115 miles per hour, and I tell you, I think that was going to be the tornado crossing. That's going to be the tornado crossing. Let's get back to Alan. He's kind of turned back around just a bit. Alan, what are you looking at? Why'd you turn back around? What do you see? Go ahead.
Okay, Dave, we had a funnel about halfway to the ground, and we see it through the rearview mirror. We're trying to go ahead and get a shot on it.
Okay.
There's nothing on the ground at this moment, but the clouds are just really tumultuous. I know there's a lot of violent motion, a lot of upward motion, a lot of spinning, so nothing on the ground at the moment.
Okay. All right. Alan, stay safe. I see exactly where you are. Let's go to Storm Shield 9, and I'll show you where Alan is. There's the hook out his window. Look where he is. He is at 1.5 miles north of the tornado. The tornado is going to be right here, and it might have lifted, but I tell you what, looking at velocity data, I almost think it's trying to be wrapped in rain. It really, really is.
Get in and be able to get you a good picture. But again, you don't want to be toying with this thunderstorm. This thing is mean, massive, and it's moving. Jim Garpoint live from Bob Mills. Scott News 9, back to you.
All right, Jim, you're in the air. We have our trackers on the ground, and no better pilot, really, than Jim Gardner right here at News 9. He's been doing this a long time, and he knows what he's doing, and he's looking right at it. Right now, that circulation is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 miles southwest of Jim. I want to point out, though, look at the visibilities right now. They're very, very low, very, very low. And this tornado does have a shroud of rain coming around it, okay?
David,
so,
in northeast Comanche County, the fire department's being dispatched to around Watts and Kennedy Road, where a mobile home was blown away, they're being told.
Okay, let's zoom in, and I remember that. It's right back in here.
There's Watts.
Yep, Watts Road and what?
Kennedy.
Kennedy Road. Okay, let's see, Watts Road, and it's got to be one of these right here.
It's got to be right in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, it's right. Well, anyway, it's right in here. There's Watts Road. So we now have damage. We've got a house that's been destroyed. Home's been destroyed. Semi's been flipped on the H.E. Bailey. And the tornado now is headed east. Okay, let's back out just a bit. Let's talk about this. I want to point out, Oklahoma City, we are not in the line of these storms. Okay, let's back out. Let's just kind of give a big view here. Okay, so here in the metro, we have nothing going on except some smaller storms to the west coming into Canadian County. Let's jump north here real quick, Lacey. Let's just talk about what's going on here. So people at home here in Oklahoma City, don't panic, all right? Don't panic. We're doing okay. We have a little bit of some sprinkle activity going on. Can we switch?
There you go. Yeah, switching to TLX. There you go.
Okay, thank you. West of El Reno, a little thunderstorm here. Nothing at all. Nothing to worry about. This little thing down near Binger, nothing at all. Nothing to worry about, okay? All right, no big deal. The big deal is down here. This is the big deal of the day for sure. Hank's right here. There's Hank Brown. There's Marty. And pretty impressive. Look at our trackers. Think we have this thing swarmed? Yeah, like bees on honey. Here we go. I'm telling you. There's Hank. There's Marty. There's Jim. There's Alan. Val's coming in from the northeast. There's Tom and Bobby Payne. All right, so these storms aren't going to do anything that we don't see. All right. Softball size hail. Grapefruit size hail, that's what these have produced. The updrafts are still about that strong. So I think minimum tennis ball size hail, not for everybody, but in the hail cores. Tennis ball size hail, possibly larger.
Alan is right there. He's getting quarters at the moment.
He's getting quarters. Let's go back to Alan Brosey and take his shot. And let's zoom into Alan's shot here. And let's go ahead. Alan, give us an update.
Okay, David, we got out of the notch there. We was in the inflow notch, and it was getting pretty sticky in there. So we backed out. We're northbound, and now we're east, coming into Cement, Oklahoma. We had quarter-size hail about a minute ago, maybe a few larger ones. We're trying to race east to get out ahead of it, so we can get you a shot back on this and warn the people ahead of this. Back to you, David.
Okay, all right, great job there, Jim, and excuse me, Alan. Just talking to Jim. Good job there, Alan. And Alan's right here. He's right back in here. Now, here's the storm track once again. Purcell, Payne, Wayne, Lindsay, Pauls Valley. I want to point out everybody from Purcell south down to Pauls Valley, Joy, Davis. You had some severe weather earlier this week. You got more coming. All right? So, once again, up and down Highway 81 from Chickasha south. Winds outside of the tornado. Winds 80 miles an hour plus. Nickel, dime, quarter, softball, grapefruit-sized hail is possible. And the hail cores are showing up where you see the black going to the pockets of white. All right? We need to check on Lawton. Lawton looks like they're just getting a horrible hailstorm right now. We need to check on, see what's going on down in Lawton. I think Lawton just got absolutely walloped with at least nickels and dimes and quarters and maybe golf balls and maybe larger. Okay.
We are getting reports of golf balls in Surreal.
Golf balls in Surreal now. Okay.
Okay, David, on Storm Shield now,
Yep.
I've found the location. Val has the semi.
Okay. All right. Let's go back to Val Castor. And Val's right here on the Turner with a tornado cross. Val, what type of damage do you see there? Give us an update, Val.
Okay, David, we are 1 mile north of the Elgin exit right on I-44 on H.E. Bailey Turnpike, and that's where the semi was knocked over. Now, he is in the southbound lane, and he is knocked over towards the right, so the wind was obviously coming from the west to the east when the tornado passed over here. Looking around the country here, I don't really see – there's not a lot of damage. I think you see a little bit of tree damage scattered around. There's no power lines nearby, so I don't see any power lines down. But definitely there was enough wind to knock that guy over, and he's right there. So no tree damage like that. A little bit of tree damage, but that's pretty much about it. I see some pretty large branches off in the fields on my right, but nothing major. Like I said, no power lines knocked down at the moment. Back to you, David.
All right, great job there, Val and Amy. And Val's going to keep heading northeast up the H.E. Bailey and get back into this hook. I know exactly what he's doing. And you're thinking, why is there not a whole lot of damage? Well, there's hardly any trees down here. This is one part of the Bailey where there's not many trees, but it did topple that semi. And there goes Val. All right, Val's going to keep going northeast up the turnpike. Okay, let's go ahead.
That is the path I was going to tell you. You see Keeney Road right there, just to the east of Val, and then Watts Road to the north of the H.E. Bailey. This area is where that mobile home was wiped off of its foundation, we're being told.
Right here. Right here. And that he was looking north. That semi was on its side that way. So I'm trying to think what the wind was doing here. Yeah, he could have been on the southern sides of the tornado then. And the main part of the tornado went north. Look at the hail core coming into Cement and down to east of Surreal. I know Alan's trying to get east, but he's going to have Alan is going to have a lot of hail to drive through as he gets back through Cement. Okay, so area of circulation now is about 1 to 2 miles south of the H.E. Bailey. South of the H.E. Bailey. Sterling's right there. There's Jim. And we can get Jim headed off to the east. I think that'd be good at this point. I know. Let's go back to Jim Gardner, take his shot. He's looking straight north at it. There's the area of circulation in Jim's shot. And let's take Jim's shot full screen. There it is. Hang on, let me look at it here. Look at that. Wow. That's impressive. That's a big, big lowering for sure. This whole thing is spinning from left to right. Jim, go ahead. Give us an update.
Well, that's right, David, it is. There's a huge area of circulation right there that is very low to the ground. We were shooting back to the north. We were kind of southwest of, we're south of 44, between Surreal and Fletcher, kind of in that area, shooting back to the northwest. But we got a really good shot. This is one area where we could shoot back up to the north and get a really good look at it. But that is a pretty impressive wall cloud right there. I haven't seen anything on the ground, David. But again, this thing is packing a punch here, and it's dropping a lot of rain and a lot of hail and a lot of cloud to ground lightning. But very impressive shot there for Bob Mills, Scotty News 9. Back to you.
All right, great job there, Jim Gardner. And once again, Jim, looking at the area of circulation. Look at the lowering here, folks. Look at that. That is impressive. That is a big, big lowering. You're looking at the front lip looking off to the north of the mesocyclone. And really, at this point, we're looking for power flashes. We're looking for anything in here. And it's increasing some. On shear rate and velocity data, it looks like it's beginning to increase some. Look at the right side. There it is. It's increasing. Okay, we have Marty. We need to be in touch with Marty. Hanks to the north. And let's take a look at their shots.
And David, it has crossed over into Grady County now, or just right about on the line.
Yeah, it's on the Grady County line. That's right. The black line there is Comanche County, okay? That's the black line you see. So it's now leaving. It's in northeastern Comanche County, coming into far southwestern Grady County. Here's Ninnekah. If you live in Ninnekah or south of Ninnekah, you need to be thinking about your tornado safe spot now. If you live in southwestern Grady County, if you live in Ninnekah, down Highway 81, you need to go to your safe spot. Let's zoom on in and take a closer look here. Let's see where our streets are doing. I tell you what is Marty? I see Marty's shot. Marty's looking off to a southwest. Let's go to Marty Logan's shot here, and then we'll come back to, we'll kind of do the gamut here. And Marty Logan, I know you're just to the east-northeast of that. The tornado is going to be to your west, Marty, about 10 miles. You're in a fine spot. Okay. Find a high spot and watch this thing come at you. But we want to keep you safe, so let's keep that in mind. Have your road options available. Go ahead, Marty. Give us an update.
Yeah, Highway 81 south of Ninnekah at a small town of Agawam is where I'm at. As you say, I'm looking back to the west, trying to see some structure to this. I've heard Alan and Val talk about it, really covered with a lot of moisture, clouds wrapped around there. So it's going to be difficult to see, but we're going to hang here and see what we can find out as it moves northeast. Back to you, David.
All right, great job there, Marty Logan, near Ninnekah. He's down in Grady County, south of Chickasha. Ninnekah, down where the Oklahoma Mesonet station is. It's just south of Chickasha. All right, so Marty's right there. We have it covered from the east side. Let's go back to the storm. Let's kind of back out just a bit. Once again, Oklahoma County, little thunderstorm out in Canadian County, which is actually weakening, and all the energy in the atmosphere. These things are alive and well, and all the energy is now being absorbed into these storms. And notice that everything else is kind of going flat, kind of going away. And boy, look at Jim's shot. Okay, let's go back to Jim Gardner's shot, if we can. He's doing a bank. We'll go back to him here in just a second, and we'll check back in with him. And Jim, again, you're just trying to get your GPS here location. You need to keep heading east, or you're looking due north. I know what you're looking at. Give us an update. I don't see it on the ground there. Go ahead, Jim.
I don't either, David, but that's a pretty impressive picture of how the wall cloud is underneath that leading edge cloud at the top of your screen. Then you see the wall cloud. It just keeps wrapping up, David. Like I said, nothing on the ground yet, but that is very low to the ground. And with this camera, I'm looking out with my naked eye, and it's really hard to see with my naked eye. But with this camera, it's cut through the haze there. Ben's doing a great job adjusting the camera to get it cut through that little bit of rain and haze that's in there. So you're getting a really good look at that definition and the circulation that's in there. So, again, nothing yet on the ground, David, but this is something not to toy with, I guarantee you, because at any time, this may drop a large tornado. Jim Gardner Point live from Bob Mills, News9, back to you.
Yeah, exactly right, Jim. And we know for a fact that it's already produced a tornado. It was near Elgin. It crossed the H.E. Bailey, flipping a semi. Now reports of at least one home that is gone. It's just basically gone near the H.E. Bailey. And Jim's kind of rolling around here, and you can see the right side of that mesocyclone there, and there's the left side. Visibilities are not good today. Not good today at all. A lot of humidity in the air. Temperatures, between our temperatures and our dew points, are fairly close, so it's very moist, all right? Makes it hard to see. Makes the visibility hard to see.
Like you've been saying, David, the tornado warning now does include Ninnekah, it does include Rush Springs, and even Alex.
Okay, there we go.
Grady County.
Yeah, there we go. So if you live, we've been saying this, south of Chickasha, everybody south of Chickasha, all right, in Grady County, you need to be thinking about going to your safe spot, all right? Especially right back here southwest of Marty. You can see where the hook is, all right? Dangerous part of the storm right here. It's moving easterly, all right? It's moving almost due east. It's moving, the tornado is moving almost due east. So looking at Jim's shot, okay. All right, so there you go. There's Marty. And look at the hail. This is going to be golf ball, baseball, tennis ball size hail, maybe even larger than that. All right, so Marty's right here, Hank's to the north. Now, Chickasha, you're still going to get some hail, okay, but you're not going to get the tornado. The tornado right now will stay south of Chickasha. You need to watch it, but right now you're good in Chickasha. You're going to get some hail and lightning and wind. Wind's probably 50 to 60, maybe higher. Nickels and dimes, maybe quarters, maybe even some golf balls out of this in Chickasha, all right? Especially just south of town. Let's take it out east of that. Dibble, Kreiner, Wayne, Payne, Lindsay. Prepare, it's coming. It's coming. All right, let's go to velocity data here. Lacey, let's go to velocity data. You take it here for just a second.
Okay, looking at velocity data right now, it's still a broad area. It's still a broad area of circulation there on velocity. We're going to zoom in a little bit closer, and we'll kind of query some of this data of exactly the winds that you could be seeing. Just to the south and to the east now of Cement, at least 70-mile-per-hour winds, maybe a little bit stronger, the damaging winds. But there is no real tight couplet that we're seeing right there. And as you've been saying, there's lowerings, but nothing on the ground at the moment as this is pushing into Grady County. Marty's right there in the correct spot. I do think this is going to go near or just south of Ninnekah, as we've been saying, and it's still moving to the east at about 30 miles per hour. So the tornado warning does continue. Folks in Ninnekah, Rush Springs, Alex, and in the entire area in southern Grady County definitely need to be in your safe spot. I do want to show the time of arrivals for you. Let's go to Pathfinder and take Pathfinder full if we can. There we go. The northern storm, the one that has the tornado warning on it, looks like it'll be in Ninnekah. It stays on the track, which it looks like it may go just south of there. But Ninnekah, 4:18. That's going to be in about 17 minutes. Alex, 4:34. Bradley at 4:41. If it continues, Lindsay eventually by 4:52. And, of course, then pushing over towards the Washington area, the Purcell area. We'll have to see what the storm is doing by then, but you need to be paying attention all along I-35 from McLean County all the way into Grady County. Now we're going to take a look from Marty Logan. Marty's driving. We won't take his. Can we check in with Val for right now? Val's still driving up the H.E. Bailey, kind of right behind this storm, has been kind of in the core of it. Val, do you have an update for us?
Connected me. Okay, yeah, we are here. Right now, we are southeast of Surreal. We are on the H.E. Bailey Turnpike right now. We are getting strong winds from the northwest, and you can see our shot. The traffic is stopping up here. We've seen lots of people taking shelter underneath the overpasses. Bad idea. Don't do that. It's going to cause a wreck. But right now, we're hearing from Justin that the tornado is probably still on the ground, and it's just to our northeast. We're going forward, more towards the northeast, trying to catch back up to it. The closer we get to it, the stronger the winds are getting. Right now, we're getting strong northwest winds, probably 40, 45 to 50 miles an hour, and we're not quite to it yet. But right now, we're about, okay, there's hail. We're starting to get hail now. Also, just want to let you know, we came across an overturned semi about 8 miles down the road, back closer to Fletcher. Okay, now we got something going on up here. There's the highway patrol with his lights on. I think it's warning everybody of what's up ahead. We got tons of people pulled over at this interstate. People are starting to kind of panic, I guess. I see people crawling up underneath the overpass, trying to hide way up in the corner. And so we're going to continue on.
The ground.
It's getting harder to see.
Hey, Val.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the deal. The radar update, the radar is updating live, and we think it's back on the ground now, and we just got a report that it's now doing damage, or it's doing damage. It's wrapped in rain. So, Castor, I need you to be careful. Let's go back to Storm Shield 9 and show you where Val is. Let's go to Storm Shield. Val's right here. Alan's right here, and our guys are in somewhat, well, they're always in danger, but we need to make sure that, Val, you're going to head northeast, so please be careful. Okay.
Val, can we go to Val?
Justin, bring Val up. Go ahead, Val. Give us another update.
I just want to say I've got a very strong smell of cut vegetation. You know, it smells like
it smells like cedar trees.
Yeah, that's what it smells like.
Yeah. It's on the ground. It's on the ground just to your northeast, so be careful. You're going to come across a damage path here in just a couple of minutes. Okay, here's the tornado. Here's the tornado.
It's about 4 miles west of Highway 81.
Right. This is.
Ping pong hail.
Yeah, it's going to get a lot larger. Val has ping pong ball size hail. Okay, let's go to Hank. Thank you, Justin. Let's go to Hank's shot. And Hank, there we go. Okay, there's the right side, feeding in from the right. Hank, it looks like the tornado's on the ground. Let's take Hank live. There's a shot. Give us an update, Hank. South of Chickasha, south of Ninnekah. Go.
Yeah, David, I'm sitting in Ninnekah looking to the west-northwest. That's the feeder cloud that is stretching 5 or 6 miles all the way back in to the updraft base. I'm going to pan the camera here, and you can see that tail cloud, that feeder cloud leading back in. You can see the striation there. then right there where that gray mark is, you can kind of see back in that hook. Right there's the rain-free base. So that feeder cloud is leading in about 6 miles, David. Back to you.
Okay, wow, that's impressive. And Hank and Patty, again, large storm, you know that. Val, it's already produced, Hank, it's already produced grapefruit-size hail, and there's still more of that to go. So if folks down there don't get the tornado, they're going to get damaging hail, or they're going to get damaging winds, or all of the above. All right, tornado continues on the ground. You have what now? Val has tennis balls? Yes. Let's go to Val Castor. Val Castor has tennis balls on the H.E. Bailey. Val, be careful. Be careful. The hail size was getting larger because you're getting closer to the tornado. All right, so let's hang on here. Be careful and give us an update. Go, Val. Do we have Val? Okay. I think he's muted us. I think it's probably pretty loud in his car. Tennis balls are very loud. He's probably worried about losing his windows. Okay.
David.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Val. Take it.
We got a 100-mile-an-hour wind from the northwest. 100-mile-an-hour winds from the northwest. I think the tornado's on the ground just to our east. We also had some small tree debris blowing. I think it's the ground.
Take Hank's shot.
Okay.
Maybe east of us.
All right.
Now our wind is turned. Our wind is turned to the north. We're getting tennis ball size hail also. I think the tornado's on the ground. Either just east of us.
It is, Val.
Hey, Hank's seeing it on the ground, in and out of the rain.
Okay, all right, go ahead, Hank, and we'll get back to Val. Go ahead, Hank. You're in Ninnekah,
David,
looking off to the south. Go.
I'm sitting on a hill in Ninnekah looking to the southwest, and you can see, I know the visibility is really bad, pan in. Right there at the edge of that rain core, I keep seeing a funnel ducking in and out of the rain core, David.
Okay. Okay, hey, Hank, let me ask you a question. You've zoomed in on the house. Is it to the right of the house? Is it to the right of the rooftop?
Just to the house. Just to the right of that house.
Yeah, it's right here.
You see those trees off in the distance.
Yeah.
Right there is the edge of the core, and you can see it ducking in the core.
Here. Yeah, it's a dangerous tornado. It's in and out of the rain. There's a lot of rain wrapped around it, so you're not going to see it. All right, don't go looking for it. Go to your safe spot. Okay, Hank, we're looking at your shot, and I can see where it is. It's going to be right here. It's going to be almost to the rooftop in his shot.
David, the community of Agawam, they need to be in their safe spot. This is going to be right on top of them potentially.
Okay, yeah, Hank, you got to get east. Hank, you got to get east. Let's go back to Storm Shield 9. And let's get back to, wow, look at this, folks. This thing is really, really ramped up. Okay, so Alan Brosie's on the north side. Alan's headed east. Let's back out just a bit. Let's back out.
There's the debris signature.
Yep, there you go. Debris signature now. This is our shear rate product. And this signature, when you see that, that's the radar saying we have everything in the air that is not liquid, or we just have debris in the air.
Val has debris at his location.
All right, Val, go ahead. Go ahead. You've got debris. Give us an update, Val. Be careful.
Okay, David, we had another 100-mile-an-hour wind episode just now. The wind is slacked off now to about 70. We're getting tennis ball size hail, and we have debris in the air. And based on the wind direction right now, David, the tornado has got to be on the ground just to our east. I'm not exactly sure how far, but it's pretty close, I would think. Back to you.
It's not very far, Val. It's a couple of miles to your east, okay? It's a couple of miles to your east. It's a couple of miles just to your east. But it's moving. It's moving. You're going to have to go northeast and then get off and then make your way back east. But Val is passing now. Damage on the H.E. Bailey. He has a west wind at 100 miles per hour, and he's had golf ball, the tennis ball size hail. The tornado continues on the ground. Okay, look at that. Wow. Let's go back to velocity data on Storm Shield 9. Look, not that. We'll come back to the storm track here in just a second. Look at this. Holy moly. That's going to be an intense tornado, folks. A minimum of an EF2. A minimum of an EF2 tornado now headed east, almost due east. You folks in Ninnekah, it's too close to call. You folks in Ninnekah, you need to go to your safe spot right now. Tornado on the ground. Let's query some of this data real quick. Query that. Give me an update. 74. What are you looking at? 72. 140. Basically 140, and it's balanced. You got equal numbers. It's 140 mile per hour shear now. And again, Agawam is right here.
And that's Highway 81.
Highway 81. It's going to go on top or north of Agawam. All right? Alan Brosie's right here. Boy, Alan. I need Alan to be careful. Oh, boy. It's really, really getting crazy now. Okay, look at the hook. Wow. Look at that hook.
David, I'll just read you some of these times. Ninnekah, 4:15. That would be in about 6 minutes. Alex, 4:30.
Yeah,
Bradley, 4:37.
Go ahead and pop it up, Lacey. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
And here's Pathfinder with the track of that storm as it's eventually going to be moving into McLean County if it stays on its track.
Okay, and I want to point out, to me it looks like it's lifting a little bit northeast now. It's lifting.
We just took the track a little further north.
Which means, again, Purcell, which means also as far north as Blanchard might be in the line of fire, okay? I can't say it enough. If you live in Blanchard, south of Blanchard down to 39, you need to be watching this. Ninnekah, you need to go to your safe spot right now. This is headed into Ninnekah. Please, if you live in Ninnekah, you need to go to your safe spot. Lowest level, turn the TV up, go to your lowest level right now in Ninnekah. Tornado is about ready to cross Highway 81. It's about ready to cross Highway 81. Okay, let's go back to Storm Shield. Oh, hang on, before we do that, my bad. Hang on. Alex at 4:30, Bradley 4:37, Dibble 4:51, Kreiner 4:56, Cole, Payne at about 5 o'clock, Washington 5:08, Goldsby 5:10, Purcell 5:19, 5:19 in Purcell, Lexington 5:23, and Rosedale at 5:36. All right, that's over here, but this thing is a large tornado right now. It is a rain-wrapped tornado. We can barely see it. It's doing damage. It's on the ground right now. Let's go back to Storm Shield and take a look at where the tornado is exactly. And it's basically just about on top or north of Agawam. Okay, Alan Brosie's right here. Alan Brosie's on the north side. Hank's right here. Val's coming in. Val is in the hail core. Oh my gosh, Val is just getting trashed right now. He is getting trashed with hail. Okay, all right.
It's got to be just our east, David.
Yeah, it is. Okay, let's take Val. But look at the hook here, folks. That's where the tornado is. Let's take Val Castor shot. He's on the backside of the tornado with 100+ mile-per-hour winds. Val, go ahead.
All right, now, David, our winds have slacked off from 100 to about 80 right now. We're getting, our wind is now blowing from the west-southwest. There is a truck sideways in the road right next to us over here. He might have been hit by the wind, I don't know, but right now, it's I think the tornado is just to our east, or maybe just to our east-northeast, and it's not be very far. I've got a whole slew of cars that are stopped over here. Every now and then we pass a whole group of cars that are pulled off the road, and every now and then I'll see someone partly sideways in the road. Also, David, we have driven out of the hail. We're completely out of the hail, just very, very small, sporadic hail now. The winds have slacked off down to about 65 to 70. And they are blowing from the west now. So, anyway, I think it's just our east. Oh, now the winds are picking up again, David. The winds are from the west-northwest now, picking up to probably 70 or so. And I'll give it back to you, David.
All right, we'll take it right here. We're going to take it back to Storm Shield 9 and take a look at exactly where this is. Looking at the latest velocity, this thing has tightened up and strengthened even more. We're seeing 106 on the outbound, 79 on the inbound. David, this is out of TLX.
Yeah, no, it's going to be at least an EF3. All right, it's going to be an EF3. It's going to be what we call a strong tornado. And it could be stronger than that. All right, what was that again? Let's query that again. Query some of the data in here.
106.
106 to 80, so we're at 180. Yeah. Oh, yeah. At least an EF3 tornado. That's what it looks like on radar. That's what it looks like on velocity data
and
on
that
Storm
is
Shield 9.
4 miles to the southwest of Ninnekah.
Okay, here's Allen. Okay, and here's Ninnekah. You folks in Ninnekah, we said it. You have to go to your safe spot right now. Lowest level, center part of the house, interior closet, interior bathroom. You have to go now. Shear rate as high as it's been all day. This is a violent tornado, and you're not going to see it. Let's go to Jim Gardner.
Hank has the final, he says.
All right, let's go to Hank. Let's go to Hank. Hank, Jim Gardner first. Hang on. Let's back up. Let's go to Hank first. Hank, give us an update. There it is. There's a tornado. Go ahead, Hank. Do we have Hank? Yeah, he's there. He's just in a bad sail area, or he's trying to gather his thoughts here real quick. Okay, let's go back up to Jim Gardner, and when Hank gets back on, holler. We'll go back to Hank. All right, let's go back to Jim. Jim, large tornado on the ground. Be looking for power flashes. It's wrapped in rain. It's going to be a violent tornado. It's going to be a big time tornado. Go ahead, give us an update.
Well, that's right, David. We are sitting just 5 miles southeast of Ninnekah. We're coming up to Highway 19 just west of Alex here, shooting back in there. We really can't, it's rain wrapped, David, or it's just it's so hazy out here. We're cutting through as best we can, but you can see the leading edge of that storm system right there as it moves. We're keeping a very intent look for any sort of indications of where that tornado is in there. Like I said, very poor visibility, very dangerous tornado because you cannot see this thing. We're having trouble, our ground trackers are having trouble. It's just a mess out here today to be trying to do this and stuff, but we're trying to give you the best shots we can. But like right now, I'm about 5 miles southeast of Ninnekah, shooting straight back west and kind of scanning back through there. I heard Lacey say it was about 4 miles southwest of Ninnekah, so that should put it, I'm pointed north, so that should put it out my left side door where Ben is, shooting right back in there. And like I said, we're just now over at Highway 19, just west of Alex here, waiting for this tornado. Jim Gardner live from Bob Mills, Scotty's 9, back to you.
All right, great job there, Jim. Let's go to Storm Shield 9. Let me show you where Jim is. This is what it looks like from Jim. There's Jim and there's Hank. Okay, that's Jim's shot. Folks, you folks in Ninnekah, the tornado it's a mile away from you. It's a mile away from the community of Ninnekah. I can't say it enough. If you live anywhere around Ninnekah, you have to go to your safe spot. There's the tornado. It's right here. It's right here. It's about ready to cross 277. All right, it's Highway 81.
Highway 81.
Yeah, it's crossing Highway 81 right now. Right now. Let's query some of this data. Let's see how strong this is. And not that it matters at this point, but yeah, we're 70. Okay. Yeah, we've got at least an EF2 tornado on the ground. At least an EF2. Look at the swirl. Look at the swirl in velocity data. That is a substantial tornado. At least an EF2, I think an EF3 at this point, looking at velocity data. Now, here's what's crazy about this. It's moving a little more east-northeast. It's going to hammer Ninnekah right now. It's coming into Ninnekah right now. Okay, Val's on the backside. Allen's on the north side. And is Allen's stream good? It doesn't look like it.
No.
Is his GPS good?
No.
Okay. Is he okay?
Yes.
Okay.
There's the latest update, David.
Okay. All right, there it is. It wobbled. Okay, typical of a hurricane or a tornado. It wobbled. It was moving more northeast. It went right over Ninnekah. I tell you what, if it didn't hit Ninnekah direct, it might have gone barely south of town. It did weaken as it was crossing Highway 81, but it's still a tornado, and it's more than likely still on the ground. Here's Ninnekah. All right, so now it's moving more easterly. Let's do a storm track. Let's see what we're doing here. I'll tell you what, Lacey, let's back out of Storm Shield 9.
Okay. I was just going to tell you, David, right now the circulation would be over about Chisholm Trail near Peach Street for folks in Ninnekah that know that area.
Okay, there it is. Southeast side of town. Southeast side of town. Peach Street. There you go. There's the tornado. It's right there. Okay, so Alec, you're next. Alec's next. Kreiner, possibly. Dibble. Can't say it enough. If you live in southern, now eastern, southeastern Grady County, you have to go to your tornado safe spot now. You have to go now. You have to be thinking about it. It's moving east-northeast. It's actually increased again.
Yep.
It's moving east-northeast now at about 35. We're thinking about 35 miles per hour. It ramped up and did some damage, I promise you, when it came across at the H.E. Bailey. All right, but it's weakened some. It still looks like to me that it's on the ground. And it looks like right now it's not quite as strong as what it was as far as the tornado strength, but it doesn't matter, right? It's still a tornado on the ground. Okay, Hank's right there. Val's coming in on the backside. What does Hank have? Let's go to Hank's shot real quick and get an update from him. Hank, you're back on again. It's just to your southwest and west, not very far. Hank, this thing is at least an EF2, if not an EF3 tornado. I'm just telling you what I'm looking at Doppler radar, velocity data, what it says. Go ahead, Hank.
Yeah. David, we are actually retreating a little bit southeast on Highway 19 from Ninnekah down towards Alex, and we can keep seeing this funnel dancing in and out of the rain, so I don't know how big the tornado is, because most likely it's rain-wrapped. So we're going to move a little bit east because we're about ready to get hit with core. We're about the same spot Jim Gardner is, matter of fact. But we can keep seeing these funnels dancing in and out of the rain. Visibility is terrible. This is not one of them days you come out and take a picture of a tornado because it's terrible. We have a hard time. The way that I'm finding where the circulation is, I'm watching the cloud base, seeing where the shelf cloud is wrapping back up into the circulation.
That's how I'm telling where the tornado is at, David, that kind of day.
Absolutely. And Hank, like you said, it's wrapped in rain. You've seen it a few times when the rain's kind of cleared out. But for the most part, it's a big, fairly substantial tornado. It's got a lot of rain around it. You can't see it. All right. You just have to trust us that we're telling you where it is, and that's exactly where it is. All right. It just looks like a wall of water coming at you. It's dark. It's ugly. It's mean. Hank's getting back east now, getting back into position. Let's get a Storm Shield 9. And this is our shear rate. Now this is over time, so it's a shear swath. And look at it, Lake Ellsworth. And notice how you start to see the maroons going to the yellows. Tells you exactly where this tornado has been. And now it's just basically on top of Ninnekah. Jim Gardner's right there. Hank's right there. Allen's now east of Chickasha. He's going to get east and head over to Dibble. Allen's going to head to Dibble.